RCHUB International Foundation for Research and Education, an ISO certified.
So many things to get discussed. So yesterday I have taught you some foundational, or I could say a very fundamental concept, but really important concept that you have to understand in order to do data analysis. But unfortunately, I cannot correlate with AI and teach you how to make an interpretation using AI. So today we will be discussing all the things what we had discussed yesterday, and along with that, we are going to see how to write an interpretation using the AI assistants. I tell you what, you may use AI, but the problem, there is some little bit problem when using AI. We have to use our natural intelligence with the artificial intelligence to get the right output. If we simply make a prompt engineering of provide interpretation for this following table, it may give you some wrong interpretation. So that's what we're going to see right today. And that's what we're going to correct it in such a way so that all the interpretation, what we get from the statistical point of view that for the table that has been generated from various applications, uh, okay, so let's get started. So I think my entire, let me project my entire screen. Let me project my entire screen so that everything is visible to everyone. So, so good. Uh, is my entire screen visible now? No, right? Yes, my entire screen is not visible.
No, sir. Screen is not visible, sir.
Screen is not visible. What about now? Is my entire screen visible?
Yes. Yes, sir. This is visible.
Now visible, right? So I'm going to open
Yes, sir.
various statistical applications and so that I don't want to confuse you. Because when it comes to statistics, when it comes to mathematics, no matter what kind of method you apply, you will be getting the same result. You will be getting the same result. And the important values are there is all it will be same across every application, and the table will also be the replication in everything. That's what I really wanted to teach you. So for example, let me open this particular thing. So for example, uh, here for this, uh, yeah. Actually, I am using three different statistical applications so that you may clearly able to understand whatever be the application, the output, the statistical output will remain the same. So it is for that I have going to use SPSS, PSPP, and Excel sheet. And even if you go with other applications like Grittle or something like other softwares, you will be getting the same result. So that's the thing. That's the point here. You see, actually, this is a real data set. This is a real data set. Actually, this is to measure a bike mileage at the time of purchase. And after the first service, what is the bike mileage? So this is what is the study is all about. So when we check the bike mileage at the time of purchase, the Royal Enfield a Classic 350, the mileage was estimated to be like this, like this. You see, this is the estimate, the bike mileage. So I'm putting this here in the Excel sheet also. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the descriptive statistics, which I thought the very first thing. What is descriptive statistics? It deals with mean, that is average value, the median, the middle value, the mode, the approximate, the most repeated value, the skewness and kurtosis. So this is what I have told you, right? So let's check the values from the output that is been generated by the PSPP and the Excel sheet. So I'm going to go to analyze descriptive statistics, and let me click descriptive itself. I'm going to put bike mileage here. I want mean, standard deviation, maximum, minimum, yeah, variance, skewness, and standard error of kurtosis, median, sum. So all these values I want. So let me put standard error also. Standard error, range, and so on. Okay, so now I'm going to put OK. So now I'm going to get an output. You see, this is the output. This is the output that has been generated here. So I'm going to simply copy paste this. Okay. This is the value. Similarly, I'm going to check the value here. So let me put data analysis. Under data analysis, I'm going to put descriptive statistics. I'm going to select the input range from this to this. And let the output range be projected in this particular row. Summary of the statistics, confidence. Okay. So now let's check the output. Now let's check our output. Okay. So yeah, you see the mean value. The mean value is 38.6 here in PSPP. The same value is in Excel sheet also. The standard error mean. The second value is standard error mean. The standard error is 0.406, which is approximately, if I reduce the decimal, it will be 0.41. And median is 38. You see, the median is 38. And its standard deviation is 1.81, 8, that is 1.82. Here you see 1.82. And variance, kurtosis, skewness, all the values are completely replica. So which means that either you are going to use Excel as an application, or PSPP as an application, or Grittle or SPSS or EUs or any such application, you will be getting the same table and same output. So you are going to get the same table and same output. So this is the magic of statistics. So when it comes to application, it will not project you with the entire formulation, formulas and procedures, how it has been derived. It will be giving you a clean table that is of unnecessary. And every application will be giving the same type of table and with the same values. So the thing is that whether you are using MATLAB or R programming or Python programming or SPSS or PSPP or Grittle or Amos or EVs, whatever be the application, you will be getting the same output. Having the same output, how to make an interpretation, that really does matter, right? So that I will let you know. Say for example, yeah, let me start with a simple percentage analysis. Simple percentage analysis, or yeah, this itself. So bike mileage of classic Royal Enfield 350 classic. Okay, so this is the value here. So I'm going to copy paste this. How to write an interpretation. So how to write an interpretation. So writing interpretation requires two important things, Ma. First, you have to make sure your table is clean and aligned. Second is the, yeah, let me show it to you. You see, you will get to know what I'm doing. Say for example, sample 1, 2, 3. Let me drag it down. So you see, I have 20 samples. Prior, before copy pasting into the Word, I wanted to change it to right format. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to change in the way, say for example, I generally use, for documentation, we use Times New Roman. For tables, we use 11 font size. And for wordings, we use 12 font size, right? That's what I'm going to do it right now. So I'm going to copy paste into this Word document. Let me give the name as descriptive statistics for bike mileage. Okay, so I'm going to copy paste this table. On copy pasting this table, so I'm going to Okay. So now I'm going to use artificial intelligence. How? Using my natural intelligence. That's very important. Say, for example, while we write dissertation or while we write thesis, the most important thing is that we need to have proper introduction for any table, whatever we write. Say, for example, for this, you may use any application where you can use the Copilot, or let me use all the applications. See, and Chat GPT or CBIC, anything, whatever you may use any AI to write an interpretation. What the first and foremost thing is the prompt engineering. That's really important. So I will tell you what this prompt engineering is all about and how to make the prompt engineering very effective in such a way that the interpretation what is being generated by AI is really excellent, that completely correlates with the thesis or dissertation format. So for example, I'm going to copy paste this entire table. So now I have copy paste this entire table. So while when I write a thesis or a dissertation, I want a proper introduction, right? So based on the above table, provide me first introduction for at least 2 lines. Second, interpretation. So when I give like this, you know what happens? This is what is prompt engineering is all about. You need to clearly explain what you really want from the table. So this is fundamental for doing percentage analysis or for doing descriptive statistics. You don't need to look for many important things. But when you go for inferential statistics, you need to look more into the values, the interpretation. That I will be letting you know. So first is that I'm going to copy paste this value. I'm going to copy paste this value. Similarly, table number 1. This is an example for descriptive statistics. Descriptive statistics. This is an example for descriptive statistics. Now I'm going to write the interpretation. Source is primary data. So this I got using the primary data. So now I'm going to copy paste the interpretation. So this is the interpretation. So let me copy paste the interpretation. So this is not a proper format. So I'm going to make it in proper format. So yeah. So now I could say that on an average, the bike is giving 38.6 kilometer per liter. Yes. The median is 38 kilometer per liter. Yes. Further, it confirms the typical mileage of the cluster to be 38. Shows, okay. So you just have a glimpse over it, is everything is right from the table's point of view. So the positive skewness indicates a slight tendency towards higher mileage value, while negative kurtosis shows relatively flat distribution of fewer extreme values. So there is no big mileage difference. All are almost same. So yes, everything is good to go. So this interpretation is complete. Sometimes if you write, it may take nearly 10 to 15 minutes to just to view and write the right values and to have a right formation of sentences and so on. So, but now you see within a fraction of minutes, we have created, we have written the tabulation, interpretation and everything just by the click of the button and few prompts. That's it. So now let me explain you how to write an interpretation for the percentage. Say for example, here, this is SPSS. This is an application. Say for example, here I wanted to generate, gender, age, demographic profile. So for a demographic profile, I'm going to do a simple percentage analysis. So say for example, gender, highest level of education or current occupation, area of residence. So for this, I'm going to generate a simple, you see, this is a simple percentage analysis. Even if you generate through Excel sheet, you will be getting the same values. So let me copy paste. So this is the table value I have got. I don't want this valid percentage or cumulative percentage. These are unwanted tables. See, the thing is that whatever application you use, sometimes you will be getting irrelevant values that is not mostly necessary to be projected for the thesis or dissertation. At that point of time, it is better to delete or avoid it. Okay. So I have deleted these two columns, that is valid percentage and cumulative percentage, which is completely unwanted. I could clearly see it from here. I don't want accumulation or of these things. So I deleted these particular column. So I got the thing. Now let me make it as like this: gender, current occupation, and area of residence. Okay. So let me put it in a single table itself. So scrutinizing table is must. Through whatever application you generate, you have to put it in Excel sheet and you need to scrutinize it. That's must prior before you put it in the thesis. Don't just simply copy paste. That really becomes irrelevant. Most often you will be projecting irrelevant content. So that's why I'm telling. Okay, so I'm going to put Times New Roman, font size as 11, and yeah. So now once again, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to first put it in the Word document. This is an example for percentage analysis. Percentage analysis of demographic profile. Okay. So this. So now we have. Now we have the right table. So for this, I'm going to table number 2 is an example for percentage analysis. So let me copy paste here. So here also I'm going to use the same prompt. For percentage or descriptive statistics, there is no much important things that need to be mentioned. So provide me 2-line introduction and interpretation. Similarly, the same thing I'm going to put it in Copilot also. You can use also Copilot as an AI. This is also a good software. So let me copy paste here the table value. So now we got an introduction. So we have collected data from nearly 499 respondents. So based on the gender and so and so, so and so. So here is an interpretation. And here the interpretation is generated by Copilot. So whatever you feel the best, sometimes this would be apt for demographic profile. You may use it. So this is the prompt actually. This is the prompt. Actually, I have prompt engineered ChatGPT in a different way and Copilot in a different way. So try using 2 or 3 AI chatbots and most importantly, prompt them in such a way that one will give content in a more emotional way, one will give the content in a more academic way, one will give content in a more professional way. So if you prompt them by giving command, it will understand what you exactly want, what kind of text you really expect from the chat GPT. So for example, ChatGPT will always give me in the form of paragraphs, whereas this will give me in the in the bulleted points. So let me choose this bulleted points. So now I'm going to put source as primary data, and I'm going to write the interpretation. So you see, now we have written the interpretation. We have got the. So that's it. Done. So similarly, the introduction part. So that's it. So from here, from this point onwards, let me try to explain you the different things. So please pay attention, because right now we are going to inferential statistics, that is significant association test, significant relationship test, and significant difference test, and so on. Okay, let me start from the very fundamental thing. Let me start with the t-test. I think that is yeah, you see, actually this is also a real-time study which is conducted with respect to a particular beverage. So yeah, now let's test how for yeah, let us try to do some significant association test. I think that would do good. Or shall we go for some other thing? Yeah, we will go for a significant let's go on. So wait, on bunch. Okay, so let me consider this itself. So, for example, if I wanted to do a chi-square test, what I told you, both the data has to be categorical in nature. Categorical means it's group, or we can also say as nominal data. So let me consider like this one, gender with respect to, what do I say? Yeah, how often you purchase the beverage. So with respect to gender, I'm going to see. So let me put data analysis. So yeah, that's it. So these are the two variables I'm going to consider. I'm going to click the statistics, chi-square, y and grammar value, continue. Yeah. So now I got the output. So this is the output. It says that this is the cross tabulation value. Generally, when we do the chi-square test, we used to do the cross tables, right? So here in the cross table, all the values are above 5, which is good. And the chi-square significance value is 0.000, which is less than 0.05. So I tell you what this chi-square statistics is all about and how to write an interpretation. So let me first teach you what are the important points with respect to chi-square. Say, for example, you generate chi-square here, or using PSPP, you will be getting all these three tables. So, sorry, this table along with a chart. These three tables are must, and with these three tables, you whether you are going to do through Excel or even through PSPP or any software, you will be getting these three tables without any change. As I told you, right, in descriptive statistics, there is no change even in the table itself. All the values are similar, and even the table values, the variables are same. So this is how it comes. So you will be getting cross tabulation, you will be getting chi-square value. So let me copy paste this one. So these are the two important tables you will be getting. So when we get these two tables, the most important values what we have to see is the Pearson chi-square value. So when this value is less than 0.05, then comes the null hypothesis. The null hypothesis is rejected. Similarly, when it is greater than 0.05, the null hypothesis is accepted. This is the fundamental criteria. Then here we can say there is significant association. And here we can say there is no significant association. So the thing is that here the value is less than 0.05. If the value is less than 0.05, the null hypothesis is rejected, which means there is significant association with respect to gender and the purchase of beverage, the frequency of purchase of beverage. So let's see. If you take a male, they mostly used to buy this particular beverage on a daily basis. You see, the highest value is 216. Whereas female, they mostly used to buy this beverage on the daily basis and weekly basis. Here also, the female used to buy during on weekly basis and daily basis. So yes, there is significant association with respect to gender and the purchase of beverage. Yes, we could say, right? So that is what is the interpretation. So how you have to write, how we have to use this table. So first what you have to do is that you have to copy paste this table. Let me change this entire thing into Times New Roman. So Times New Roman. So I'm going to copy paste this particular table here. This is chi-square test. So then the second important table is here, the chi-square value. And most importantly, I see many researchers are using chi-square when some of the values here are less than 5. Actually, it is not acceptable. You need to look at this value. 0 cells, that is 0% have expected count less than less than 5. If if the 20% of the cell is having the cell count value less than 5, then your chi-square test is not acceptable. You have to stop with cross tabulation. It's a statistical rule. Okay, so now I'm going to copy paste this particular table. So now I'm going to copy paste this entire table. So yeah. So yeah, let me make it auto fit content and auto fit window so that everything looks clean and clear. Similarly, let me do this also. So now I'm going to copy paste this entire table and write the interpretation. So here it requires prompt engineering, proper prompt engineering. Say for example, here I'm going to use ChatGPT itself. Okay, let me use ChatGPT itself. So here I'm going to say that based on the above table, provide me first introduction for 2 lines. Second important thing is hypothesis. When it comes to inferential statistics, there is hypothesis, right? So I'm going to write hypothesis. hypothesis. The hypothesis must be, you have to write it, because if you don't write the hypothesis, it may give something irrelevant like significant relationship or significant influence or something interchangeably or something logical. But when it comes to statistics, when we are doing chi-square test, it means we are doing significant association. We have to say that there is significant association between so and so. And third is the interpretation. So now I'm going to click OK. So you see, now I got the interpretation, introduction, the null hypothesis. There is no significant association between the gender and the frequency. In case if you are not giving this, see what happens. Say, for example, let me do it in Copilot. So I'm going to copy paste this entire table. I'm going to ask the same thing, that is based on the above table. But here, what I'm going to do is that second is hypothesis, and hypothesis I'm going to write, I'm not going to write anything. Third is interpretation. So let's see what hypothesis it is giving. Yeah, okay. Now it also have given a right thing, because I'm actually prompt engineering this Copilot, and by sometimes it may give there is no significant relationship. That's why we are always giving that there is no significant association as one of the important prompt there. That's one of the keywords, so that it will clearly understand. Okay. So now we have the output. So let us copy paste. So now let me copy paste. Okay, so table number 3, chi-square statistics. Okay, this is the third important thing. Source is primary data, and then interpretation. So interpretation, I'm going to copy paste from here. So it have discussed both the things. What is a cross tabulation? What is a Pearson chi-square value? Is there any significant? See, you see the null hypothesis is rejected. There is significant association between gender and the frequency of purchase of beverage, indicating that purchasing behavior varies by gender. So this is how we have to write the interpretation. You need to check it out. You see, it has given a right input. That's why I have taught you. Sometimes it may make mistakes. See, the less than 0.5 null hypothesis is rejected. There is significant association. You see, male used to buy on daily basis, whereas female mostly used to buy on weekly basis. Majority value relays here, but you see there is difference. Male mostly used to buy on daily basis followed by weekly, whereas female used to buy on weekly basis followed by daily. So there is difference. So let's see how it have written the significance value. Instead of here, there is no p value. You see, this is a mistake. You have to write only significance. Whatever application you use, actually after 2000, most of the application have changed the p value into significance value. It is better to use significance value. Okay, SIG dot. So you see everywhere you will see only significance as an value. Let me use PSPP right now so that you may see what value it's coming. Say for example, yeah, descriptive statistics. Yeah, let me show you. Here also you will be seeing only significance value. Yeah. There is significant association between gender and frequency of beverage purchase, indicating that the purchasing behavior varies by gender. Additionally, no expected say, okay, this is not required. This is not required. So just have a glimpse over it, remove unwanted things and keep only the required things. Okay. So this is how we have to do you have to use the AI chatbot to write an interpretation for the chi-square. And when it comes to chi-square statistic, these are the two important tables. That is the cross tabulation, which will be generated. Whatever application you use, this will be generated. Similarly, chi-square test value. Here, this until this only it's very important. This will be generated, the value remains the same. In case if you want diagrammatic representation, you can copy paste it here. Say for example, let me copy paste it here. Let me merge it. So I have also generated the chart. So here, so that it will be easy for any person who is viewing this particular table to understand. Let me picture format, the row height is 3. Okay. So, and I don't want this alternative hypothesis. Let me keep the null hypothesis. So, yeah. Now you see the table and interpretation looks neat and tidy. So now let me move on to the next important analysis. So we have discussed percentage analysis. We have discussed descriptive statistics. We have started with yeah the significant association test using chi-square statistics. Now let's move on to correlation analysis. Now let us move on to the correlation analysis. Let me use this particular value. Yeah. You see, I wanted to know, is there any significant relationship between the mileage at the time of purchase and mileage even after the first service? Or is there significant relationship between the mileage before the first service and mileage after the first service? Okay. So this is what I wanted to know. I wanted to do significant relationships test. Why? Because both are mileage, right? Both are mileage. Both are mileage. So let me do the correlation analysis. Let me do the correlation analysis. See, I'm going to do correlation analysis using PSPP. So this mileage before and after. Okay. So now I got an output. Let me see. So this is the output I got. Oh my God, there is no relationship. Oh, okay. I have used wrong data. Sorry. Analyze bivariate correlation, not this one. This one, right? No, this one. Yeah, these two things. Yeah, you see? Oh my God. Okay. Correlation here in the Sorry. Okay. So now I'm using the same correlation test in Excel. Let the output range be here. Okay. I'm going to click OK. You see the value is minus 0.1765. So what is the value here? It's 0. Minus 176, which is almost equal to 1765. Yeah, same, right? Which means whether you're going to do the what do I say, using PSPP or SPSS or Excel, you're going to get the same value. And here, if you take a close look, we could clearly say that there is no significant relationship. There is no significant relationship. Okay, so you see there is no significant difference. So that's what I'm going to do it. You see, I'm going to copy. I'm going to put it in the Excel sheet. So I'm going to change the font size. Always, when you copy paste, you make sure that you scrutinize, you put it in the Excel sheet, you scrutinize the content into a right format, and then you copy paste the Word document and you align it, and finally you write the interpretation that is really acceptable when it comes to dissertation or thesis. Okay, so auto fit content and auto fit window. Yeah. So now I have the right values before me. Okay, so now I'm going to put that in the ChatGPT. So I'm going to copy paste the table. I'm going to ask me to provide the following thing. You see. So here I'll be telling the AI to provide me table and provide hypothesis and interpretation. But here I'm going to put it as significant relationship test. Relationship between so and so. Don't worry about in case of spelling mistake. Once you started using the AI regularly, it will start recognizing the wordings or the sentences, whatever you're going to give it. Okay. So I'm going to put it. So you see, now I got the output. It have clearly understood it is Royal Enfield 350 Classic mileage. I have simply given the table. It have us understood that it is Royal Enfield Classic 350 mileage. And it also have given me there is no significant relationship between mileage before the first service and after the first service. So this is the null hypothesis and this is the alternate hypothesis. Now let me explain you how to make interpretation. Whatever be the statistical table, first look at the significance value. First, you have to look at the significance value. You see, this is the significance value. This is the significance value. So I told you, right? The same thing is here. The same rule can be applied here. The null hypothesis is less than 0.05, but here the null hypothesis is greater than 0.05, which is 0.457, which is greater than 0.05, which means null hypothesis is accepted, which means there is no significant relationship. There is no significant relationship. There is no significant relationship. Okay, there is no significant relationship. So this is like before and after the first service, there is no significant relationship. So both seems to be completely different. The mileage is completely different. You see, before the first service, mileage before the service was 42, and after it have reduced. 2 km per liter has been reduced. Actually, what should happen after the first service? The mileage has to go up, and there should be significant difference. You see, here also there is no significant relationship. Both completely they are different, irrelevant. So that's what it is telling. So let's see what the interpretation have came to us. Let me copy paste this value. This is relationship, or we can say correlation test. Correlation analysis. So the table number is for correlation analysis. Okay. So I'm going to put it normally. I'm going to make it italics. Source, primary data, interpretation. Yeah. So let's see what it have. Yeah, you see, there is no significant relationship. This is what we have stated, right? There is no significant relationship. There is no significant relationship. The same thing is been stated here. Check and then copy paste. There is sometimes by mistake the AI can do mistake. So you see whether the key terms, the significant relationship is being right or not. Sometimes it may use association interchangeably. So how much is the significance where there is negative, there is weak negative relationship? Yes. That is change in mileage after service is not strongly related to the mileage recorded before servicing. So yes, the value, everything is right. So I'm going to copy paste. So this is how you have to do for Pearson correlation. So tomorrow, actually, I thought of teaching you even the prediction analysis, that is regression analysis. We have limited time. So as of now, I think this is more than enough for the day. Tomorrow, I will be teaching you the predictive analytics. That's very important. Uh, I will also teaching you about the different types of t-test and criteria and how to use it. There at that point of time, I'm not going to use AI. I'm simply going to teach you because now you have clearly understood how to use what kind of prompt you have to use with respect to AI in order to generate the right hypothesis, in order to generate the interpretation for the table, in order to generate a small introductory line for your content based on the table. So this is what the most important thing is that once you started to write an interpretation for a particular thesis, you make sure that or you use one chat. Say for example, this is one particular chat means use it here itself until it's complete. Don't go to the next chat. Don't use next chat. Use the same chat because during the one chat it will clearly knows what exactly the study is all about. You see, even me without giving that is Royal Enfield Classic 350, it have given it have rightly assumed yes, this is the mileage of Royal Enfield Classic 350 and the mileage before and after. So when you go the same chat bot, the same chat box, yeah, it will be giving you the more appropriate content when it goes further and further. So that's the important rule. Okay, so today we have understood how to write and how to interpret. So today we have understood whether you are using or any application, whether whatever be the application, say for example, like Wolfram Alpha from directly using the website, or you are using Grittle, or using PSPP, or you are using SPSS, or you are using Amos or eViews or Excel, whatever application you use for doing the statistics, you will be getting the same table and same important values. So when you get the same table and same important values, you have to be in a position to scrutinize the table in such a way that when it copy pasted into the Word document, it rightly aligns and fit with our thesis or dissertation format or article format. So once it is done, to generate a proper introduction and interpretation and hypothesis, at that point of time, you have to slightly do some prompt engineering. That is, we need to use our natural intelligence along with the artificial intelligence to get the appropriate result. So this is what we have understood today. So is everything clear in today's session, Ma? Do you have any doubts? Is everything clear?
Yes, sir. And thank you so much, sir. Very informative session.
Okay, Ma. So any, excuse me, why this? Yeah. So anyone, any questions? That's it. You can also put it in chat box if you have anything specifically, or if you have any questions related to your own research problems, if it's something related to social science or commerce or management or some part of science, I may able to answer. So if you have any doubts, even with the respect to that, you may ask me. That completely deals with these sessions, what I thought you write in 2 days. So everything is clear. Okay, ma. Tomorrow, try to be on time because we have very important topics to get covered. Okay? So don't delay. Everyone, please join on time. Okay, then. Thank you all. Thank you, God. We see. Take care. Bye.
Thank you, sir. Good night, sir.
Thank you, ma. Good night.
Contact RC Hub International Foundation for Research and Education. WhatsApp 9888 231 231.